After trying to conceive for about a year and a half, my wife and I decided to pursue embryo adoption, adopting frozen embryos. We went through an agency and were able to adopt about 7 frozen embryos. And as we had spoken with Samaritan, we learned that there were portions of that of the expenses associated that were not shareable directly, but would be able to be publishable via a special prayer need.
I didn't really know what a special prayer need was, and we hadn't ever supported any special prayer needs at that point. It felt like, well, that's an extra, and maybe that's just not where our hearts were at that time. And so when I called, and I had all the paperwork, but the gentleman I spoke to asked about our financial expenses related to the adoption. And I was like, why do you need that? I thought this was just a special prayer need, like people were going to pray for us. Like we really did not expect anything financially. Knowing that we were kind of going into this, the transfer of the embryos to my body, I was like, I just want people to pray. This is a scary thing. I don't know that I can carry a pregnancy full term. And so that was really my expectation, that people would pray for us.
We were blown away by the response that we got to that. I think maybe had fairly low expectations. This is our first experience with the special prayer need, but we got more than 60 responses, notes from people, very generous financial support.
Yeah, we were really blown away. I mean, exactly what he said to you. We would go to the mailbox, and I would come back upstairs just with a pile of envelopes that I knew were from Samaritan members, and we would just sit and read them and cry and just be totally amazed that complete strangers would, open their hearts to us and voluntarily, financially support our need.
Between the special prayer need and the regular need, probably more than 100 people that are in one way or another connected with helping to meet our medical needs associated with having Madison. And God has supplied meaning in the meeting of those needs that I never expected him to.
A parent wrote saying, thank you so much for sharing your story, because it gave me a chance to talk to my kids about your unique situation. And and then for us, thinking about that, to know that our story, gave someone that chance to, talk about pro-life issues, and, that somebody's kids, were part of this decision to, and who knows, I don't remember how much they sent us, but that was a really, thinking about becoming parents, it was like, oh yeah, I would love to, when my kids are old enough, include them in the conversation of how we could love and serve other people financially.
If there's something, some kind of, medical issue that we have to take care of, it's not, oh gosh, who can I go to, and, or it's not kind of picking from a hand-selected, restrictive list of people. We can go anywhere. And yeah, I can remember going into the birth center and overhearing, conversations they were having with other people about, well, hey, let's check to see if your insurance is would cover you giving birth here. And the fact that has never been an issue for us is wonderful.
I've had several conversations with the staff there, and they say, well, some people can't come here because we don't take their insurance. And I look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, had I not been able to have our child there, the medical cost of our birth would have been probably triple or quadruple because of being in a hospital. And I just, and then not to mention probably the extra interventions I would have gone through, under an OB's care, and nothing against OBs, but yeah, I felt like we saved money for ourselves and the people who shared that need. And then I got to choose the provider that I really wanted to go with. And that was so encouraging and empowering as well. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, don't knock it till you try it. Like, it's when I try to explain to people, like, do you understand that my entire pregnancy was shared with other people? I mean, how can you even question that, you know? And I know there's always a risk that, like, you know, there's no guarantee. Maybe that money doesn't come in, but we went into it knowing, and, you know, to me, it's a no-brainer. You can play this numbers game with an insurance company, or, you know, trust God and give other people the opportunity to share your medical needs. And, you know, to me, I think it has definitely, I feel great confidence that, you know, our needs will be cared for. And this feels like the wise choice to me now, especially seeing what's happening with health insurance in America today.